Sathya Sai Speaks, Volume 14, Chapter 46. Be Human, Part 2 of 2. Practice speech that does not offend. The Lord has said in the Gita, Anudvega karam vakyam satyam priyahitam chayata. Speech that does not offend, that is truthful, pleasant, and beneficial, has to be practiced. Such speech sanctifies the tongue. It knows and respects the limits. The ear cannot tolerate a false or discordant note. Every one of the senses responds within its own limits of tolerance and protests when that limit is exceeded or disregarded. You must be vigilant that they are put to use with proper attention to those limits. When they stray away from the path or overlap their boundaries, reason hides its head and makes you inhuman. You can master all knowledge and win loud applause. The crowds that gather may praise and proclaim, "Ah, what a wonderful lecture he gave!" You can be hailed as a king and rule over the realm. You can pile vast wealth and donate gold and land, but what is the benefit gained? Karna gave away the earrings he wore and even sliced off his divine suit of armor and gave it away in charity. Wherein lies the key to greatness? Whereto does renunciation lead? The question is, does it purify the heart? Does it help the divinity within to manifest itself? 3 kinds of tapas man should practice. The manas, mind, is known as antakarana, inner sense organ. The manas is always engaged in manana, recapturing, remembering, recalling, reflecting. As a result, it receives and rejects wishes. Even when you are alone and silent, the mind may be on a spree, wishing, desiring, planning to do or not to do. And it keeps the tongue busy until sleep silences it. There are no standards which are kept in mind while looking, talking, or acting. Since these are done as soon as the thought arises or the will commands, the power of discrimination becomes weak. One must try to stay a while in order to examine and judge. Even when you are alone and silent, the mind may be on a spree, wishing, desiring, planning to do or not to do. And it keeps the tongue busy until sleep silences it. There are no standards which are kept in mind while looking, talking, or acting. Since these are done as soon as the thought arises or the will commands, the power of discrimination becomes weak. One must try to stay a while in order to examine and judge. Develop the quality of fortitude, the strength not to yield to the opinions of others unless you find them to be right, and the courage to beat criticism and face slander. There are 3 kinds of tapas. Penance. The tapas of the mind, of the body, and of speech. Let me remind you that the tapas of the body involves a few disciplines. The first is the process by which you revere and adore elders, teachers, and God. Serve them and honor their commands. Put those commands into practice and earn their grace. The second discipline is cleanliness, inner and outer. Outer cleanliness includes the cleanliness of the area surrounding you. The third is brahmacharya. This does not mean merely desisting from marriage. It means you becoming soaked in holy love for the divine. Through transparent sincerity, unselfish will, pure consciousness, and holy thoughts. The true meaning of Brahmacharya. You all know that Hanuman is described as the eternal Brahmachari, bachelor. He was married to Sri Vatsala, yet he earned that description. How? Brahmachari means he who moves in Brahman. Hanuman had no other thought than Rama, who is Brahman, and so was ever moving in Brahman, living in Brahman. Your thoughts, feelings, desires, and activities must all move in Brahman, the universal absolute. That is to say, whatever is spoken, whatever is seen, must be cognized as Brahman. That is the real Brahmacharya stage, not merely observing certain disciplines to control the senses and the mind. The next discipline is ahimsa, absence of violence. It does not mean merely not injuring a living being. You should not cause hurt even by a word, a look, or a gesture. Tolerance, fortitude, equanimity, these help you to be steady in ahimsa. They will remove all chance of you causing pain to others. This is called sahana, forbearance, or shama, forgiving. Assess the worth of whatever others do to you or say about you, and cultivate fortitude and the understanding to appreciate their behavior and pardon their faults. This capacity is as invaluable as truth, righteousness, wisdom, non-violence, renunciation, delight, and compassion. It is all that one needs to possess for spiritual advancement. Living becomes a glorious experience only when it is sweetened by tolerance and love, willingness to compromise with others' ways of living, and cooperation in common tasks. These make living happy and fruitful. Certain modes of behavior have been laid down and proved beneficial by centuries of practice. These have to be observed with modifications to suit the conditions of today. We are developing in each department of life, but pity it is that we are not developing the unique qualities of human beings. Develop the Atmic awareness, the consciousness of the divine, the acquisition of divine attributes. Expand love and understanding. When students consciously and steadily strive to develop these distinct human qualities, education will give them valuable experience, and they shall be equipped to transform society. The nation and all mankind will derive benefit therefrom. End of part 2 of 2. Sri Sathya Sai College for Women, Anantapur, February 17th, 1980. Practicing meditation in silence and solitude, one can, in due course, establish silence and solitude in the heart, even in the busiest thoroughfares. Now, the puja room or domestic shrines are invariably found next to the kitchen. There, the smell of cooking attracts the nostrils, the sounds of frying and boiling attack the ear, the mind is distracted by voices and noises. How can concentration grow in such an atmosphere? Sri Sathya Sai Baba.